How you feeling, Brandon?
Dude, it was cold. I waited for like an hour, but whatever, he was big. Big, just big.
How many more matches?
Hopefully 2, I hope. Yeah, but I'm tired. It's big as fuck, so I'll do better next time.
That was a horrible match. As you guys saw, the name of this video is dealing with a disappointing win in wrestling or BJJ. This past weekend at No-Gi Worlds, I didn't feel my greatest, to be honest, and my opponents came to be game. Hit one pretty nice takedown in the match that you guys saw, but besides that, I mean, it was pretty much 5 to 6 minutes of hand fighting besides the one takedown. I made a couple of attempts at multiple duck unders, multiple ankle picks, but wasn't really able to get much off. And even though I came out with a 5-0 win, I was just honestly disappointed. And you guys could see the little interview at the end by Sophia where I'm just like, you know, I'll do better next time. But the point of this video isn't necessarily to just talk about this particular match. The match is just a point of reference, right? The match is just something that, like, we've all, if you've competed and you are a competitive person, you've ran into this where you had a plan, felt like you were going to be able to execute your plan, and you didn't, and you still get your hand raised, you know? It's something I think I don't hear people talk about a lot, but it is actually, it's very real. You know, if you're someone who wins pretty consistently, sometimes those wins aren't going to be the biggest, craziest wins, or the most entertaining wins. Sometimes you just have to tough it out, like I had to do here. You know, funny, there's this guy that I really love to reference. His name is Spencer Lee, and he's a 3-time NCAA champion in the Division I level for Iowa Hawkeyes and Olympic silver medalist this past year. And he talked about whenever Spencer Lee went tech or pinned someone, the fans would say, "Oh man, there must be something wrong with him," but they never say, "Man, his opponent fought hard," or, you know, his opponent was having a good day, or they had a good game plan. They never say that. They always just say, "Man, something was wrong with him because, you know, maybe he won 3-0 or 4-0 or 4-1 or 4-2." And the reality of it is yeah, when you go from, you're like, okay, I'm expected to be dominant, but you're not always dominant. It can be very weird, especially in the age of social media now, where it's very, very normal for, I guess, people to read into things a little bit deeper than they are. But the longer you compete, there's this lesson that you're 100% going to learn. The longer you compete, usually that means the better you're going to get. The more you compete, the more wins you're going to get at some point eventually. Maybe you won't, but if you start to catch your stride and you start to be a little bit successful in competition, you'll realize that sometimes you compete, you'll be ready to submit 5 people in a row. You'll be ready to take as many people down as many times as you want. You know, you'll have days where you just feel so amazing that you're like, I'm Superman, I'm Superwoman. But then there's going to be the reality that sometimes you're going to go compete. You did everything right, but you're not on that day. You win, but you're not on that day. And I think a part of being a champion, I know one of my wrestling coaches used to say this, is like, champions know how to win. Winning isn't always pretty, but champions know how to win. And one of the tough things is when you hold yourself to a really high standard and you don't win in the way that you would like, it can be extremely disappointing. And that's why I always talk about dealing with a disappointing win. So I'm going to give you guys some advice, because I know there's probably a couple really competitive people. You know, most of the talking videos that I have are talking for more just your average person, but today I kind of want to reach out to those people who are more winning, right? And sometimes with winning comes this pressure to just dominate, and that's just not the reality of things. Like I've kind of rambled on about quite a bit here. Sometimes you don't perform well, but you still get your hand raised, and that's important, right? A win is a win. But the next thing is, when you don't win the way that you want, you can learn from it, right? Whether a lot of times it's not even about the match, you know. Maybe you warmed up too early. For me, I felt like this was the case with this match. I have no excuses, but whatever. Maybe you warmed up too early. Maybe you didn't eat the right things that day. Maybe you underestimated your opponent. Maybe you didn't game plan for that specific type of opponent very well, and so you end up edging out a victory. It's great. Now you can go back to practice, or the next time you compete, you can try to practice a new routine, a new way of warming up, new timing, new techniques, and new game plans. Yeah, it's just kind of an opportunity. That's why we compete, right? If you know, you could just not compete and just hold on to what you have done in the past, or you can allow yourself to have the opportunities to either lose or kind of edge out wins and learn from them. that was kind of the next point here, is just using the feeling of frustration for your next comp. Okay, maybe I didn't attack enough. All right, for me, when you look at this match, I think rewatching, I think I did 7 or 8 shots, but I was only able to finish one takedown, one duck under out of all of it, and I did one submission attempt, the Peruvian necktie attempt, and it really wasn't very successful. Just the dude was huge, and now looking back on it, I'm like, man, you know, I probably could have swept a single leg and jumped onto his back, and I think I could have choked him, but I didn't. I was kind of worried about the size difference, and I was not comfortable or confident committing to the submission, and I wasn't comfortable or confident constantly shooting underneath my partner, who was 350 pounds hips. You know, if maybe he was 250 like me, I would be more willing to take more shots and take more risk, but I was in this weird space where, you know, I was thinking a little much. I was like, man, you know, I got to be careful. I have more matches in the day. I don't want to hurt myself. He's really big. I did 2 or 3 duck unders in a row, eventually got one of them, and yeah, you know, I kind of let the size get to me, and I didn't compete the way I wanted to, but I know next time going into whether it's the match with that guy or another match with a much bigger person, I have a much different game plan now, and I'm glad it happened. It sounds a little pretentious saying that there are, you know, disappointing losses, especially if you're someone who hasn't won very much, but the reality of it is there are disappointing losses. I hate this match. The duck under was pretty sick that I was able to finish, but for the most part, I hate this match. I hate how I perform, and I feel like I let myself down, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. You know, it's just kind of the truth. You guys saw at the end of that interview, you know, with Sophia, I was like, you know, next time I'm gonna do better, and yeah, I just kind of wanted to share that. You know, I don't know, have you guys ever felt this? Have you ever won a match and barely gotten by and were you disappointed about it? If you have, leave your story in the comment section below. I'm really curious. You know, I want to hear about it. Have you ever? I heard someone say in the comments of the Instagram post says they have lost matches that they felt more proud of than matches that they have won but barely scraped by because they really fought their hardest. If you've had something like that, let me know, but down below. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much the video. Have a good day.